Hello friends, this is Growl. In the last episode of Zero to Hero, I continued my Mage Mythic Plus adventures, committing to only do my key so that I can push it up and get to higher levels, where mobs will finally start to live through my Ignite. I convinced the Ret Paladin to switch to tank so that I could barely beat him in DPS, only to yoink a ring from him at the end and then fake AFK when he asked for a portal. I did end up learning the Valdrakken portal though, so no more Hearthstones for me, surely. I'm on the right track now. I'm beating up target dummies, pushing up my own key. It's the advice that every top Mythic Plus streamer gives. Even if the only times they actually use the group finder is just for content, and then when they do, every single high item level meta class lines up like crazies at Walmart on Black Friday just to appear on their streams. Once I start doing higher keys though and my gear gets better, I'll really start to do damage with Fire Mage. I don't know if I can wait till then though. I can't stand doing less damage than people in every single key that I do. I must be using the wrong build. I know I'm supposed to mainly be dealing priority damage, but I keep hearing about this Flame Strike build. If I can start doing more damage on trash packs, I'm gonna look better on the meters. I mean, who cares if the dungeon goes a bit slower? If everyone else is just gonna pad an AoE, then I will too. I look up a guide online and switch builds. There's something different about my rotation, but there's just way too much to read here. All I know is that now I get to press Flame Strike when I combust. I do some quick testing on the target dummies. Man, my damage looks good already. This is it, I was just playing the wrong build all along. Now it's my time to shine. I mean, this is only like 5 mobs, right? In these dungeons, I'm sure our tanks will be doing huge pulls and I'll really be able to blast. I practice a bit more as I list my new key in Group Finder. +5 Atal the Czar. The word must have gotten out about my new mage technology. Almost instantly an entire group signs up. It looks like they're helping their low-level healer friend. The Demon Hunter is 476 and the mage is 460. It's time for the ultimate challenge, Mage versus Mage Showdown. He has 30 item levels on me, but I'm ready to take him on. The team assembles in the dungeon quickly and we get started. Straight to Razan, a typical Tyran Pug route. I fall behind a bit to the Frost Mage, but you know, that's okay, I'm the Flame Strike build. Things get a little scary when our priest lets the Call of the Void overcome him as he just runs headfirst straight into Razan's mouth. Luckily we don't need him, our tank is over-leveled and this boss doesn't deal too much damage. I do end up beating the tank, so there's that. Alright, here comes my time to blast swords. I start lining up a Flame Strike on the ground, but then the tank just keeps holding forward. It misses. But now Meteor. But then the swords just jump back and that misses too. What is this? Before I get another cast, the entire pack is like already dead to the Demon Hunter. Well, that's okay. I have an instant cast Flame Strike ready for the next pack. It's just dead instantly. That's okay. All right, my combust is up and now the tank is pulling 2 mobs? I can't even Flame Strike this. Well, I'll just focus on the big guy. And wait, where's the tank going? He's chaining after I wasted my combust? I don't even know what to do at this point. I thought the tank was conspiring with the mage to beat me, but based off of that mage's damage, he's getting griefed as hard as I was. I guess I'll just hardcast some Flame Strikes and hope that I have combust ready for the next big pull. I used to think the lowest DPS should be spending their globals on utility and helping the team, but now I think it's actually should be the highest DPS player doing that. I mean, I need a chance to catch up. My combust is almost up on the big pack before the boss, but my team just completely obliterates it before I can even land a spell. I just made the wrong class choice for this challenge. For the next boss, in order to make it vulnerable, we need to kill each of the 3 totems within a short time window, or they respawn and then heal to full. I do press combust on my totem. I figure I'll need it to keep up, but this doesn't even begin to explain how big of zoo animals the other DPS on my team are. The mage unleashes a 1 million damage crit on his totem, instantly killing it within 10 seconds of the fight. And then as soon as I'm able to get mine down, his respawns. I bet they think it's my fault for low damage or something. Well, 2 can play at this game. As soon as my totem respawns, I unleash my combustion proc and decimate the totem. Meteor on top and it just explodes instantly. Yeah, you're not so special, buddy. I just keep blasting into the totem even though it has 1 health. Why would I even help my allies? I mean, my combust is up. I don't want to waste a cast. It was only then that I realized our entire team is bleeding out. None of us actually interrupted the boss, allowing it to get 3 full stacks of disease on us. As our poor underleveled healer is clinging onto dear life, we all agree to truce with the DPS dick waving and actually kill the totems properly. Once the totems go down, the boss dies fairly quickly. Doing damage is our specialty. Doing mechanics is not. We head down the stairs only to fight another 4 mob pull. I keep hearing Ignite isn't good in low keys, but Flame Strike seems bad too. Every pull is either just 4 mobs or just dies instantly. Unless I can get a bunch of big combusts off on big pulls, I feel like I do nothing. We walk outside and gather up a bunch of mobs, finally a big pull, and it's dead in like 9 seconds. I even wasted my combust. And yep, since the tank sees that I have no combust, time to pull the highest HP pack in the entire dungeon precisely at this moment. Look, I'm gonna spare you this, the rest is just ugly, this dungeon is over for me. You guys don't need to see anymore, but hey, I got a new chest piece and I upgraded my key. And yeah, these guys are not getting a portal. I got griefed way too hard. I'm Hearthing. Inviting high-level players for dungeons is cool. It upgrades my key, but man, does it make me feel weak. It's like asking someone at the store to grab something for me off the top shelf. But that thing is dungeon score and glory, so I'll still do it. And the top shelf is a +8 key. I find some DPS quickly that are closer to my item level that also come with a tank that's pretty decently geared. Big win. I grab a Resto Shaman in case I forget to use Bloodlust, and we make our way into the dungeon. Rise is a bit of a single target heavy dungeon with a couple of hard bosses, but this first room we get to pull pretty big. I get ready to send my combustion when the tank stops and... Wait, I'm doing top damage. I mean, yeah, of course I'm doing top damage. It is I, Jangbi, the Flame Strike Lord of AoE pulls. I knew that last group was just out to get me. I need to talk about Incorporeal now, because it's a really important mechanic for these high keys, and I'm not just distracting you from the low damage I'm doing after the first pull. Now that we're doing keys at this level, ghosts will periodically spawn that cast a group-wide debuff on our party if they're not stopped. Let me be clear, this is not my job, I'm a mage. But out of commitment to our group, I'll occasionally cast a polymorph or try to kick one if I think my teammates are slacking. We make short work of the first boss as well as the dangerous dragon after it. The room after this area is pretty difficult. It's a projectile dodging section, but you know, as a high Mythic Plus player, I've mastered the movement required to make it through this part. So I know here I'm making it look easy, but most players will find it quite difficult. After I make it through the maze on my first try, I can then click the portal on the other side to activate it to allow the other group members to get through. This next section is where things start to fall apart. I'm waiting for my tank to man up to grab a bunch of mobs for me to combust, but he's just like pulling slow. I picked a geared tank for a reason, get in there! He finally starts to gather a bunch of mobs for me to drop a meteor, and then out comes Sigil of Chains that just grabs everything out of range. My damage has been griefed, but we are through the tough areas. The rest of the dungeon should be pretty free from here on out. Alright, almost free. So we might not be in the clear yet. It's okay, our shaman can self-res, just don't release. Well, there's 30 seconds down the drain while we wait for our teammates to run back. Guess this is a good time for a feast, maybe some mage food. So, like 90 seconds later, we start the boss again. My damage won't look as good, but I need to focus on mechanics. I'll polymorph the ghosts, bait the frontal, all light work for me. Oh no, the ads aren't being tanked with the boss. I mean, I'm not gonna go off of the boss to hit them. Uh-oh, our red paladin goes down. We're bleeding out. Okay, fine, I'll deal with the ads. We barely recovered. Our boss damage is almost 0 with the ret paladin dead, me dealing with the ads, and our warlock struggling to just control his demons, but I'm not ready to deplete this key. By some miracle, we survive the boss and res our paladin to continue forward. Our red paladin clearly didn't grow up playing Frogger and ended up forcing us to pull enough mobs to be overcount before we even got to the third boss. That's alright though, we still got plenty of time. Morchi was a bit easier, we managed to kill it on our first try. Even though the red paladin got blasted by the frontal and didn't have any buttons to press except for one that made him invulnerable. We triumphantly make our way to the last boss, sit through some roleplay from Chromie, and make short work of the last pack before the boss, putting us at a comfortable 130% count for the dungeon. Deos's main mechanic is placing 2 orbs on the ground, one of which needs to be stopped while the other explodes. If both explode at the same time, it can cause fatal damage. By now, our team is basically mind melded, so even with no communication, we easily handle this mechanic. At the end of the fight, I try to greet a pyroblast to proc my combustion and yes, sort of end up blinking on top of the boss. My tank panics, but that's okay, I have my cheat death available. I recover the situation, only to blink on top of the boss puddle again and die immediately. Although my character is dead, I'm with my team in spirit, and we kill the boss. I accept the res and then immediately put down a portal. My team deserves it. Before even opening the chest, I'll even drop a conjured mage table for them, you know, just for the road. Just because I'm feeling generous. Not at all for karma, just because... Man, where's my item? Ah, this would have been a huge upgrade for me if I just got a weapon or a trinket. Oh well, at least I can craft something now.